Well, hello there out there in the comic Outlaw Nation. As it's called, I'm going to do a little story for you. Yes, this show has been hijacked, and this is your old pal, Mr. J, and who else to tell the story of one of my old pals, Oswald Cobblepot, a.k.a. the Penguin. Yes, and there I am, the hero of this, the dashing, good-looking protagonist, I might say, and I'm telling a story, yes, about one of my old friends, a man short in stature, but big in the crime syndicates, you might say. I'm talking about none other than Oswald, and we're going to start this story very long time ago when he was a small, little bird who has yet left the nest and been able to discover the true nature of who he is. Oh, yes. There he is, giving flowers to these women, these charlatans, who reject Oswald, and as sad as it is, Oswald sits there alone, wondering why. Lost. And we go to the future, or the present, you might say. Oswald's doing pretty well for himself. Beautiful women cars in limousines, standard of life. And yet one disrespects him, and of course Oswald kicks her to the curb. And yes, he's going to a fun part of Gotham, where I get some of my fun toys. A nice little auction that's usually held by the local gangs. Fun times all the way around, explosives, the type of mayhem I do enjoy. But yet he finds a bird in a cage, and she says something simple like, "Help me." And Oswald looks at her and has a moment, I guess, as the tears roll down her eyes. She wakes up in the morning free. Oswald has done a good deed, and yet he is surprised when she hugs him and realizes that he is her savior, and she has been rescued from her situation. And yet Oswald, being Oswald, has to talk. And he starts losing interest in the simple things, the fun little pleasures in life. He's even talking to Batman about it. Batman. I guess that's the way love is. It just hits you, it hits you. And even the simple pleasures in life just seem to lose their interest. And Oswald was caught up in this. And yet, as he confesses undying love to this sweet little bird that he released, there was always a price. And good old Oswald never understood this about his nature. No matter how hard he tried, no matter how much money he had, he would never be one of them. Because deep down he is like us. He sees the joke. And he knows that he can take whatever he wants when he wants. And that's just Gotham for you. And yet the chef that laughed at him, the one that he was going to take, he found evicted from his apartment and somehow, losing all his money interest, and ended up in prison. And then shuffle off the moral coil. Sometimes you gotta admire the bird. He does such good work when he's pissed. Oh, yeah, back to the girl. I was having too much fun there. Yes, she looks through his little book of trophies, his fun little mementos, you could say. Oswald was always simple, sympathetic like that. And shockingly, but deep down she knew who he was. It's not much of a surprise in the end. But she feigns shock and uses this as an excuse to laugh it up with all the socialites, just like the women that had rejected him before. Oswald had tried to get his revenge. He sick birds on them. Oh, there's birds. But anyways, Oswald shows up with a little bit of flowers, hoping that would smooth things over. But no, she's packed up and ready to hit that dusty road. In the end, she should have realized. Good old Oswald never realizes those boots were made for walking. Violet, he says. She uses the fact that he's a killer, he's gonna kill me, this and that, the same old excuses that women tend to use. But Oswald, instead of killing her, gets a flashback for a moment and realizes those girls had beat him before. Those popular girls beat the ever-loving crap out of him and never sent to leave the old bird. Maybe he was never able to fly because of that. Well, anyways, in that moment he realized who he was. He wasn't just Oswald, he was the Penguin. He belonged to Gotham. As we all do. And as he swatted at the zone birds, beating their brains, and he vows revenge. And in the end, no matter how much he dresses it up, he's one of us. What is that saying? But I digress. Oswald stands and gives a standard speech with a beautiful, beautiful blonde on the side. Gives him a quick embrace and tells her to fawn off. As he's saying how hard it is and giving it a general wishy-washy. As this bird is back in her cage. And the Penguin walks away, realizing who he is, embracing that he's always one of us. And alas, this story is so sad. But oh, what the hell, I'll laugh anyways.